Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh boy, could you believe this? The Mets completely slaughter the Philadelphia Phillies, the so-called best team in baseball. I think not. The Mets, I gotta say, with Jose Quintana pitching tonight, I'll be honest with you. I made a prediction video earlier. I said the Mets would crush the Phillies. You know what? I was going based off momentum. We had great momentum coming off of our last series, the Toronto series, the heroics of Lindor, Alvarez in the ninth inning, and we took that momentum and slammed it in Philadelphia and completely dominated. That is how you put your foot down. That is how you introduce yourself to an NL East foe and a so-called number one team in baseball. I'll tell you what got me going yesterday. Yesterday, I was reading ESPN's rankings. They ranked the Mets as the 11th best team in all of baseball, and they ranked Philly number one. And, to me, that shows me, first of all, I don't agree with those rankings. A lot of the rankings, it was just pathetic. The Diamondbacks were ahead of us. The Padres were ahead of us. There were a lot of teams ahead of us that I just didn't agree with at all. But that just goes to show you how clumped up and how close we are competition-wise. We are not that far behind anyone. And you saw what we did today against the Phillies. We came into this series 2-4. We hadn't faced the Phillies that many times. We have 6 games left. But today, and I said coming into this game, you're going to see a completely different Mets team than in the past, than prior in the beginning of the season. And you saw it, folks. We were a different team, a different animal, a beast coming into that Philadelphia stadium. It started, the first couple innings, it started off slow. Francisco Alvarez took a knuckle curve down and in, and he pulled it down the left field line, down where it was 321 of feet, and that's what got us started. And that was such a beautiful hit, because I've been saying that the only pitch Alvarez is able to hit is the high fastball. So nice to see Alvarez take a pitch low and in off the plate. It kind of tells me that this guy's shoulder is getting healthier. If he's able to go in on a pitch, get his shoulder in, and take that pitch down the left field line, especially off of hitting a big home run the other day, it just gets me that much more excited, because if we get Alvarez going, if we get Nimmo going, God forbid if we get Pete Alonso going, and of course, Pete Alonso gets that tack-on home run when it's 10-0. But that's a story for another day. I actually predicted Pete Alonso was going to have a day today. Pete Alonso, for all you who don't know, Pete Alonso's numbers against Aaron Nola are actually gaudy. He has very good numbers against Aaron Nola. He's a lifetime 325 hitter against Nola in like 30 career at bats. So I was expecting Pete to really, be our offense today. But like in the past, Pete, he had that walk and he had that home run, but he wasn't really the emphasis of our offense. But you know what? I'll take it. I will 100% take it. You build off this win. We've been using momentum the entire year. The entire year, we have been a team that, just goes off momentum. And let's take this momentum down the stretch. We have 15 games left. We have 15 games left till the end of the season. So this is going to be good stuff. I want us to at least go 10-5. I expect us to go 10-5. That gets us to 91 wins. I circled 91 wins a while back. I did that for a couple of reasons. Hopefully, the last series, we take 2 out of 3 from the Braves, so we get that tiebreaker. We already have the tiebreaker from the San Diego Padres, and we have the tiebreaker from the Diamondbacks. We're a game back of the Diamondbacks. They lost today. So we are looking good. The Braves won. The Braves beat the Dodgers. Good for them. Little applause for the Braves, but we are doing freaking phenomenal. John, I gotta say, you wrote before the stream even started, Mets called up Acuna, right? I didn't even hear this. All of a sudden, I'm Googling, did we call up Acuna? I love that move. I said a couple days ago when we traded for Alvarez from the Red Sox. Basically, he's a career journeyman minor leaguer, right? Not the most talented guy. He's more or less a fill-in. I said, why? You bring up the most talented players. If it's an Acuna, even if it's a Sprout, you bring up the most talented guys for this stretch run. If you want to throw Sprout out of the back end of the bullpen because Nunez isn't there, fine. I don't get, the thing I don't get what David Stern says is it's going to stunt their development, stunt their growth. I don't get that. How the hell is a couple major league appearances going to stunt these guys' growth? If these guys are that sensitive, then they're probably not going to have that much of a good career anyway. So I love this move. Get this guy exposed to playoff potential. Well, he's not going to be in the playoffs, but potential big games down the stretch. You get this guy, you throw him right in the mix. He's an energy guy. He's a guy who can play infield and outfield. I'm so excited. He's a speed guy too. So if you were looking for like that Alvarez, pitch runner guy, Acuna can kind of do it all. Plus, he's that extra spark plug. I am so super excited. I want to see our homegrown guys. In fact, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen Acuna a lot sooner. I would have called him up right after McNeil got hurt. But, it is what it is. We are going to see Acuna. It looks like he's going to be coming up tomorrow. I saw Saturday he's coming up. He's taking Daniel Nunez's spot on the roster, which kind of sucks because I was hoping he'd come back. I was hoping Nunez would come back, but it looks like he's going to have a season-ending issue. So we wish him good luck. At least we know Daniel Nunez is a good chip for next year. So good for that. All right. Again, hey, what's up, John? Robbie, what is going on? Phillies look tired. They look weak. I heard so much good stuff about the Phillies. So much good stuff. Oh, we're going to be playing the number one team in all of baseball. It's going to be tough. And I'm not saying it's not going to be tough, but we just freaking slaughtered them. I hope to God Lindor is okay. We're going to get into some comments, in a few moments. Carlos Mendoza made some comments, and Lindor, if anybody who hasn't heard the post-game interview, Lindor commented on his situation as well. We're going to check that out. But, in my opinion, I don't think Philly's that good. I really don't. I think, I believe I saw that their competition, they played a schedule of under 500, number one. So, they haven't played as tough of a schedule as us. And I'm not saying that's everything. They've had a run of good pitching. They made a good trade at the deadline. They got a good guy in Estevez. So they were aggressive at the deadline. But I'm not really afraid of the Phillies. I think our offense matches the Phillies' offense. And our pitching coming into today's game, the run of the last 10 or 15 games, our pitching has been doing much better than the Phillies pitching. So as of late, our hitting has been on par as the Phillies, and our pitching has been better. We're both hot teams. They came into this series 8-2. We came into this series 8-2. But you know what? We're going mano a mano right now. Let's see what happens. I like Francisco Alvarez. The guy, he rang the bell. That's what I like. That's a breakout hit. Today when it's 0-0, who's gonna get the first big hit? Francisco Alvarez today got us going. Got to give this kid credit. The last couple of games, Francisco Alvarez looks like he's actually coming on. So maybe this guy finally got healthy, and that's what makes me so much more excited. A guy like Alvarez finally getting healthy right before the playoffs. What a perfect time. That's amazing. All right, let me say what's up. Jason Padilla, what is going on? Let's go. Let's go. Great win today. Great win. Robbie, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was they said knuckle curve on the TV, so or on the MLB channel. I forgot where I saw it. They said it was a knuckle curve, curveball, whatever. It was an off-speed pitch. Off-speed pitch, but it was down and inside. It wasn't an off-speed. It wasn't a hanger. He had to go down and get it. It was inside pitch off the plate. So, it was a pretty nice piece of hitting by Alvarez. Daniel, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Although, what do we win Saturday? All right, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday right now, everyone. We got good feelings right now. We got 15 games left. 15 games left, and now we're going to make our big playoff run. And I feel that this team is special. A lot of people, a lot of prognosticators are underrating our team. You see it all over. You see it on MLB. You see it on ESPN. You see it all over YouTube, all over the news networks. We are underrated, and I like that. I like that. I don't want to be the favorite. We were the favorite last year. What the hell happened? We were the favorite last year. It was a dumpster fire. I'd rather not be the favorite. So, let's get this thing going down the stretch. Like I said, I'm thinking we at least got to go 10-5. I'm looking for a 10-5 record. But it is all good stuff. Almost 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. With our New York Mets. Good stuff. Okay, I'm giving a shout out to everyone tonight. John, Juan, Chris. What is up, Chris? Robbie, I said hello already. So we got some really good stuff tonight. And let me start getting to your comments because I see I'm already getting backed up. It's funny. I've been hearing amazing all in the last couple months. Obviously, since the beginning of June, like we've been playing freaking phenomenal. It's funny. It's funny, right? It was the Miracle Mets in 1969. Was it the same year? Was it the Amazing Mets in 1969? And did they come up with the Miracle Mets? I know the Miracle Mets was definitely 1969, but you got to feel that vibe. You got to feel that vibe. We are finding ways to win. Finding ways to win. I mean, the other day we were getting no hit. That turned into a lopsided win. Today, facing one of the best teams in all of baseball, another lopsided win. We were doing things that are unexpected. And that's what I really love about this team right now. John, I agree with this. I agree we're top 5 in baseball. And if you look at ESPN rankings, like, I showed everybody, we did a video yesterday. ESPN, as of yesterday, ranked us as the 11th best team in baseball. And to me, that's a joke. That is a joke. If anybody wants to go look at that list, they ranked the Braves 12. That's the only thing I agree with. The Braves are behind us. Okay, that's fine. But they had Kansas City Royals as the 10th best team. They had the Diamondbacks as the 9th best team. The Padres as the 7th best team. And a bunch of other teams that we kicked the crap out of sitting in front of us. And the Yankees as the 2nd best team. Who the hell does this list? I don't get who does a list. You do a list 2 weeks before the playoffs and you rank the Yankees as the 2nd best team in the league. Do these writers watch baseball, or do they just do like what is the popular team? I don't get that. I don't get that. If I was honestly ranking the Mets, I probably would rank them around 5 or 6 right now. I would, in terms of them being the hottest team in all of Major League Baseball in the second half of the year. You got to at least put them in the top 5. If you're being fair, you have to put the Mets in the top 5, maybe top 6. You bump off teams like Baltimore, who clearly were hanging on their first half performance, and the Yankees too. They've been hanging on their first half performance. Mets, we've been hot at the right time. And that's what it is. A lot of times it's getting hot at the right time, and we are getting hot at the right time. Yeah, Acuna is going to be exciting. He's going to be exciting, and honestly, you look at his numbers. He's stolen a lot of bases. He's stolen a lot of bases. The pop's really, the pop's not there. It's not like you would like to see. It's not a Ronald Acuna. Obviously, Luis Angel Acuna is a lot smaller than his brother. He's got the speed game, but I think he's a guy coming to the majors. We're going to see a different version of him. So I'm extremely excited to see Acuna, and it's going to be special. Kind of like 2 years ago, we brought Alvarez for the stretch run in 2022. Unfortunately, it was a disaster, but this is redemption. This is redemption. That's why down the stretch, when we play the Braves, I wanted, we got to take 2 out of 3. I would love to sweep the Braves, but we'll just take care of business. I don't know. I'm like thinking in my head, like so many things are running. I want to sweep every opponent. I know it's not feasible to sweep every opponent. Just go 10-5. That gets us to 91 wins. And if we get 2 out of 3 from the Braves, I'm pretty sure 91 should get us in somehow. 91. Yeah, Juan. You know what? Let's get to the Lindor stuff right now. Okay, so Carlos Mendoza was asked about the Lindor stuff in the post-game show, and basically, this is what Carlos Mendoza said. For anybody who missed it, Carlos Mendoza said if this was an important game, he would have left Lindor in the game. So that tells me all I need to know. It's right now. I'm praying to God, doesn't look like a serious injury. If Carlos Mendoza is saying that Lindor would have played if this game was a more competitive game, that just tells me that it's not a serious injury. But you just never know. Back spasms or back injuries are tough. Lindor said he did some treatment on the back right now. He's hoping everything worked well. But we're going to see tomorrow. And maybe Acuna is kind of like a backup plan. You want to take as much pressure off. Lindor as possible and be ready just in case Lindor can't go. At least you have another guy who can play the infield, another young, dynamic guy. But I'm hoping to God, and for some reason, I'm feeling there's an 80% chance we're gonna see Lindor go tomorrow. So or today. Scratch that. I forget. It's already Saturday. It's funny. I was looking at this. Yankees look great again. Honestly, I haven't really been following the American League at all. I've been so locked into the NL and our league. I just really haven't been following the Yankees. But from people that I know, Yankee fans, they're just not impressed with how they're playing. I mean, if you really look at the way that team is built, they're not built to win. And I for everyone who remember, I put out videos before the season started. I said that our team, our New York Mets, are built better to be better this year. And I still believe that. You have to build a team top to bottom. You can't build a team top heavy like, you got 2 or 3 hitters, 1 or 2 pitchers. No, you need to be well-rounded. Our 4th starter, Quintana, today. For everybody who doesn't realize this is the 4th very good start in a row for Quintana. So it looks like Quintana he's really gotten it going in the last 4 starts. Since April 20th, Quintana has really 4 good quality starts, and today another good quality start. So if you're getting that type of performance from your number 4 or 5 pitcher, that is something. That is really something. And our pitching staff obviously has been held up by Manaea, Severino, Peterson, and that last performance by McGill. You can't take that away from him. I've been waiting for that performance for about a year now. A year. So hopefully a guy like McGill, when he gets his next opportunity, builds on that. But if we got all our 5 starters throwing quality starts, that's all we need. And we got a dynamic offense that hasn't even come close to getting going. If we could somehow get the polar bear going. Oh man, that is funny. Yeah, Chris, the baseball gods cannot do this to us. They cannot take Lindor away from us. That just would be so wrong and sinful. We have been through so much nonsense, and it's time to win a World Series. Honestly, Chris, and I'm going to say that I 100% believe this. Lindor, it was very precautionary today. I don't think he's really hurt. I think he might have felt a twinge in his back, and just to be safe, we were up by 6 runs already. I think it was like, coach, just take me out, and I'll live to fight another day. But if somehow he got a twinge and then it turned into something because he pushed it, that would have been horrific. I think that he's going to be fine. If he's not playing by Sunday, I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if he's not playing tomorrow, but I could see them just giving him a day to rest. It's just that all these games, we all know it. These are all playoff games. Every single one of these games, Mendoza has to act like it's a game 7 mentality, because essentially, you got the Braves winning. The Braves are only a game back. We're still a game behind the Padres, and we're a game behind the Diamondbacks. So every game until we are comfortably in the playoffs is a game 7 scenario. Yeah, I agree with that. Like McGill, you just don't know. You just don't know. People say McGill, it's his like work ethic, but the guy's got the stuff. The thing is, he's got the stuff. He's got the talent. He could throw mid-90s. He's got a good repertoire of pitches. He's got a decent mix. It's just that, with a lot of guys, it's control and, it's him getting in his own head. If he could overcome those 2 things, which he has control of, he could do that. It's mental, and you don't walk guys. He's got the stuff. He 100% has the stuff. So just like Peterson had the same issue. Luckily, I think Peterson has benefited from the presence of Manaea. They're 2 similar type pitchers, and I think they've benefited. Like really, like all of a sudden, that's been the big change. Manaea was on the team this year. All of a sudden, Peterson becomes phenomenal. He becomes phenomenal, which I love. I was waiting for Peterson, this version of Peterson, the last 2 or 3 years. And the funny thing is today, so when I did my prediction, I did the prediction video today. I said the Mets were absolutely going to come out. We were going to crush the Phillies. The problem was the Phillies have, I believe in the last 2 times they faced Quintana, like it wasn't pretty. Like Schwarber killed Quintana. Harper in the last 2 years had a high average against Quintana. So there were a lot of Phillies batters who faced Quintana in the last 2 years and did very well. So I was nervous. But, somehow Quintana, I said the last couple of games he was really, really doing well. He continued that trend. And our bats in the last 10 games, our bats have been batting 200. In the last 10 games, our bats were 200 average. So it's good to see us break out and have such a great game, because that's essentially the only thing that has been holding us back. Our bats. Now you get the pitching, keep that going, and you get the bats going. Specifically, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Alvarez. You gotta help Francisco Lindor, especially in this time. In fact, you know what? If you really think about it, Lindor has played every single game. I think he's only missed like a combined 24 innings in this season. even if he misses a day, I know it's really tough to miss a guy like Lindor, especially a guy who influenced and impacts the team in such a positive way. We have to find ways to win when Lindor doesn't hit. Because Lindor is not going to hit every single game. We have to get our offense going. So even if we're missing Lindor tomorrow, the positives are Lindor gets a day off, he gets a day of rest, and maybe that's why his back is tight. He's played almost every single game this entire year, and so has Pete. So I give Pete credit too. But, Pete's got to get going as well. Lindor has been carrying us. Lindor is carrying us. This is the one game that we have to put Lindor on our back and get, carry Lindor. But, that's fine. It's fine. Other guys just have to step up. Yeah, honestly, Nunez going down really does hurt. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the weaknesses, and I don't want to get into any negatives, but when Diaz is not available, Nunez was the guy. When Diaz is not available, Nunez was the guy. We don't have a guy. We don't have a guy. Our guys in the circle of trust are Jose Budo, and you got Phil Maton. But, in a big game, you got to figure those guys are going to either come in on the 7th or the 8th. So, I know in the playoffs, you're going to pitch Diaz back to back to back, but we needed another guy. We really needed another guy. What's up, Richard? See, Richard, like we commented before, Alonso hit that big home run tonight, right? A 10-0. Alonso comes through right when we thought he would. Oh, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, I did a video the other day. It's called New York's Finest. Basically, I ranked all our Mets players, how I project they're going to play in the playoffs. So if anybody hasn't seen that video, let me know what you think. If you agree, disagree, I really appreciate the feedback. So, check it out. It's called New York's Finest. But I was saying this to somebody a couple of days ago. Yeah, no, honestly, this is because of Alonso. Alonso is really boxing himself out of a decent market. He wants $250 million, although the latest I heard is that he's looking for over $200 million. So he would take a $206 million contract. But I wouldn't touch him anything over $200 million. I would be looking to pay him well under 100. I mean, you think about Pete Alonso. This is his walk year. So you figure this is when he would step it up. This is when you're going to see the best of the best of the best version of him. Yet you're seeing a lesser version of Pete. You're seeing a lesser version of Pete in a year where he's supposed to step up. So honestly, that really concerns me. And I wouldn't give him any big contract at all. I'd give him some type of value contract because he's a New York Mets player, but no way would I hamstring my team financially for a guy I think may potentially be on the decline. And then also, too, if you look at his body type, body structure, you compare him with a guy like Lindor. Lindor's, he's a smaller, fit guy. I could see giving him a 10-year contract. We gave it to him when he's 27. But Pete, a guy, he's 6'3", he's a lot bigger. He's a little, I don't want to say chunkier, but he's a little heavier. I can't give a guy like that over $200 million. Honestly, his offense is lacking right now. We give him over $200 million. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets injured, next year. I'm not going to take a chance. Hey, what's up, buddy? Stoney. Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen you in a while either. But you know what? this is the stretch run now. This is the stretch run. So 1 o'clock in the morning, usually I've been working till like 11:30. So sometimes I get home, I'm tired, but it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. The Mets are this, I get energy. When the Mets win, you get like a jolt of energy. You don't want to go to bed. You want to look at stats. You want to look at tomorrow. So, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And honestly, I feel we're going to make a World Series run. And I'm extremely excited about that. And the fan base is ready. There's no doubt about that. We are all ready to see a run. Three to 4 years, 115 to 150. Yeah, honestly, I don't mean to be tough on Pete, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. $115 million, even if that's like over 30 something $million a year. I mean, I'm maxed out at paying Pete around $22 million. I did an exercise yesterday by his trajectory and him not being an all-around player. It's not like he's a Lindor. He doesn't play a high-level defense. He doesn't play a prime position like center field or shortstop. He's not slotted to make that much money, in my opinion, based off his most recent numbers. Like literally, he's number 50 in slugging percentage, and that's supposed to be one of his only things he does well. Lindor's going to probably beat him this year, so he's not even going to lead the team in home runs. And even if he does, he's going to lead the team with like 34, 35. So he's not going to have a mammoth home run year, despite having a low average, a low OPS, a low hitting with runners in scoring position, leaving a whole nation on base. He has left the most men on base. So there's a stat called LOB, meaning runners left on base. He has left the most runners on base in all of baseball. The only guy who's close is Teoscar Hernandez. So looking at that, he's a guy, I'd probably sign him. Maybe if I gave him close to $30 million, it would be for a 1-year deal. That would be the only way I would come close to a $30 million deal if it had little risk, which meaning only 1-year deal. I agree. Remember in the comments you put me on the spot, asked me how many games we were going to win. I changed it to 91. Do you think I probably did do that? But hey, if you changed it to 91, I think for some reason, I did the math. I did all the scenarios. I think 91 can get us in, because you got to remember the Padres, and everybody knows it. The Padres and the D-backs play each other the last series, right? So we play Atlanta the last series. So there's only so many wins a team can get. So 91 wins, I believe, will get us in based on, all the opponents and who they're playing. I believe 91 wins will get us in. So if you predicted that in the beginning of the year, that is phenomenal. Most people predicted around 85, 86 games. I remember in the beginning of the season, we did do that. I did write down everybody's prediction. The only one who was way off, and I know you don't mind me mentioning this, Robbie, because the Mets have gotten a lot better. But Robbie's prediction was well low. It was in the six. I think it was 67. But that's fine, because the Mets have proven a lot of people wrong. And in the first 2 months, they were on pace to actually win in the 60s. So that just shows you where we've come from in June. So it's so crazy. It's so damn crazy for us to find ourselves in this position. What is it? September 14th. We're in mid-September, and we're actually in a playoff spot as we speak. We're defending a playoff spot. So that's the mentality we have to have these next two weeks. We have to defend a playoff spot. We're actually not even chasing a playoff spot. So, we could get more playoff security by running down the D-backs and running down the Padres. I think we will do that because, like I said, they are going to play each other at the end of the year. Oh, who said this comment? I just saw a good comment. All right, whoever said it, whoever just said the Dodgers are frauds, I completely agree. And I've been saying that for such a long time. And that's why I was saying that the landscape is wide open. Look at this, folks. The landscape is wide open. Who are you afraid of? The Dodgers have so many issues. The Dodgers have so many issues. So I'm not afraid of them. The Phillies, we're facing the Phillies right now. Do they look like a team that instills fear in you? Are you afraid of the Phillies? I know most of us aren't. I'm not afraid of the Phillies. I've been saying that. Oh, Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee Brewers are built similar to us. I got to say, they are. But are we afraid of them? No. In fact, out of the Dodgers, Phillies, and Brewers, a lot of people would rather face the Brewers. Then if you go to other teams like the D-backs and the Padres, we've already shown the propensity to beat those teams this year. So I'm afraid of really no one. And if the Braves somehow do find a way to make it in, and let's say the D-backs are on the outside looking in, the Braves aren't anywhere near the Braves of the last year. Even a guy like Charlie Morton, who has been Mr. Consistent, isn't consistent. There's only one thing I feel bad about. There's only one thing, and I want to do a video on this. And there's one move that I would have made, and I know we got Manaea, I know we got Severino, but I'll tell you what, I would have felt so much better if we would have found a way to trade for Chris Sale. I mean, look at the return. The Braves gave up Vaughn Grissom. I think they gave up Vaughn Grissom, right? He had one decent year. And not only did the Braves get Chris Sale, I think they got the Red Sox to eat half of his contract. They got him for this year and next year. That was a great move. Great move. So, I mean, that's a move that, I kind of was a little jealous of. Hopefully the Braves get knocked out and I don't have to see Chris Sale. Oh, shoot. Explosive. I had the Mets at 56 wins. Okay, so you definitely won for having the lowest win total. All right, so we definitely passed that a long time ago. So, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I said this too. I said this last week. Oh, we're behind 7 games. We're facing the Phillies. Why, who knows? Who the hell knows? Things happen. I still want revenge for 2007. I want revenge for 2007. That's the year we were 17 games left and 7 games back. So, I still want revenge for that year. And it's so funny that year I met Jose Reyes like 3 separate times, and Jose Reyes swore to me that we were going to make the playoffs, but we never did. Okay, so Richard, you're right. The playoffs are about matchups. I did you ask me that question? Who do you think we match up best with in the playoffs? Who would you want to face? The team I wanted to face, I don't think we're going to get to face them because they might actually get knocked out. But, I wouldn't mind playing somehow if it worked out this way. Arizona. Okay, Arizona. Yeah. Arizona, it's got a great offense. But if the pitching holds up, if our pitching holds up, that's all it takes. A good pitching staff in the playoffs can really shut down a good offense. So I could definitely see that. And Arizona, I just don't think Arizona is ready to make that jump. You see a lot of people predicting Arizona as a World Series competitor or favorite. I don't see it yet. I really don't see it. Yeah, I got Jose Reyes' autograph. Luckily, I met him a few times, so great. I mean, like great guy, Like literally, I met him in a shopping center one time. I literally chased him down. I'm like, hey, Jose, I got to get my hat, across the parking lot. Could you wait for me? The guy literally waited 10 minutes for me and my friend, and this was after 2006. This was a month. No, this was about a month after Carlos Beltran struck out against the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh, Rich, so my ex physical therapist used to work on the Mets. Hmm. Did really was it? Was you? I feel like I'm not sure if I should throw out a name. I don't know if people want anonymity, but I used to know a physical therapist who used to work on Jose Reyes as well. So probably I might know that person. Was it in? Was the physical therapist was like in Long Island, like Great Neck area around there? Oh, Asian guy. I don't know. This I don't know who this. This was a lady, so probably another person. But I know literally, I tore my ACL back in the day. It's a knee ligament. And the therapist was saying that Jose Reyes literally had this session before me, but he got hurt. Jose Reyes is a guy who's got hurt so many times. I'm pretty sure he's went through a lot of physical therapists. Let me see who. Okay, so tomorrow's matchup, we have Luis Severino. Luis Severino's going up against Kobe Allard. Kobe Allard. And then on Sunday, and I kind of like this move. Like Mendoza, he switched the rotation a bit. So now David Peterson, he's going to switch on Sunday against Christopher Sanchez. He's a I'm looking at it. I gotta say, sometimes you got to give credit. I'm looking at the Phillies pitchers, and in the last 2 years, the Phillies, and this is what I believe has elevated them, and people think they're, very good or a World Series favorite. It's because of what they've done with their pitchers. They've always had decent hitters. Their hitters, sometimes they're all or nothing hitters, but it's their pitchers in the last couple of years, Ranger Suarez. I mean, I'm looking at this guy on Sunday, like Christopher Sanchez. Christopher Sanchez, I remember he stunk a couple years ago, stunk. And I'm looking at his numbers this year. He's 10-9 with a 3.3 ERA. Not bad. The guy's really kind of stepped up. He's a 27-year-old lefty. So I mean, the Phillies have done a really nice job. And obviously, we know at the top of their rotation they have Nola and they have Wheeler. But this is what we've done too. We've done the same thing too. And, we have Senga coming back for the playoffs. We have, at the top of our rotation, competing with the best in baseball. So, it's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. And this is a statement series. This is a statement series right now. All right. Stoney, just because, it seems like you don't really know. The Padres won, the D-backs lost. So, we made up some ground on the D-backs. We made up some ground on the D-backs. We're still one game ahead of Atlanta. One game ahead of Atlanta. I mean, I want to, they're playing the Dodgers. They are playing the Dodgers this series. I'm hoping the Dodgers can take 2 games. Can the Dodgers take 2 games from the Braves? The Braves don't have Acuna. They're missing Strider. They're missing their star third baseman. I don't get how the Dodgers can't beat the Braves at this point. It makes really no sense. Do us a damn favor for once. Exactly, Chris. I just don't get it. We're having a lot of trouble with the Dodgers from a couple years ago. Maybe they did us a favor with the Trevor Bauer sweepstakes, but at the time I was frustrated that the Dodgers outbid us for Trevor Bauer, and at the end of the day, they got what was coming for them. But it's there's got to be there's got to be a time where things eventually become easy for Mets fans. It's always got to be hard. We have a good team this year. Typically, with 6 teams getting in the playoffs, we're going to win close to 90 games. Typically, we would comfortably make the playoff. But of course, nothing is ever easy. Nothing's ever easy. I guess looking at it from a good standpoint, we're going to be playing tough teams down the stretch, and it prepares us for the playoffs. We're not going to take any days off. So I do like it in that aspect. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. I got to go feed my dog right now. If anybody hasn't seen any of my other videos, check them out. I'm doing a lot of trivia, Mets trivia stuff. Check out the video, New York's Finest. Like this video. Let me know what you think. I want to try to do other different things. And I want to try to become more consistent. So if you have any feedback, drop a comment, subscribe. I expect this to be a World Series run. So everybody stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have a great night. I appreciate every single buddy for commenting tonight. It's been fun.